Hey everybody, Ron Onesti here, hanging and banging, artists on lockdown. Once again, here we are on a Thursday night, as we are every Thursday. I am so excited about tonight's performances, or tonight's interviews. We've got two legendary performers. We've got Josh Todd from the great band Buckcherry, one of my favorites, and of course, the icon herself, Suzi Quatro, is going to be joining Carmine with me tonight. Vinny is on the road, so let's start the show. Bringing my big brother. I used to call him older brother. I don't like that. He's my big brother. You know him from Jeff Beck, Rod Stewart, and of course Vanilla Fudge. Bring him on, Carmine.
Big brother from New York, not Florida.
Ah, yeah, I know you're from New York. So I'm on the road this week. I'm actually at the Aria Hotel in Las Vegas.
I was going to say, I like that picture behind you. Look at that picture.
Well, you know what? It just reminded me of Suzi, actually. So I'm going to...
See, my new background, this is our office in New York and our apartment in New York.
This is nice. And, I like that. You look very like old Roman, you know?
Yeah, it's a little piece. And then
Classic Italian.
Then I got all the gold records over there, see?
Oh, look at that.
Usually I sit there, but I'm usually in the dark over there.
No, I love this. I got to start coming to all your properties. I haven't been to New York. I haven't been to Florida.
Yeah,
I've been to, what's the other one?
St. Martin.
St. Martin, yeah. That's the one I really want to go check out.
Well, I'm coming to your property. We're coming to your property.
A lot of times.
Yeah, September 30th and October 1st with Robbie Krieger.
Yep, we got
and
Vanilla
you're kind
Fudge.
enough, and you're kind enough to let us rehearse. I appreciate that.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have a lot of fun, man. I'll be cooking for you every night.
Yeah.
Where is little Vinny at this week?
Little brother is on the road now in the Midwest somewhere, not near you. But it's funny, he's playing you October 2nd, and with Vanilla Fudge is playing you on October 1st. That's
we still got to work. But it's something we got to work through, because how could we both be like within a day of each other and we don't all get together?
Yeah,
we got to figure this out.
I know. But I think he's somewhere else the day before when we're with you, and but maybe when we're rehearsing, maybe he's going to be around. You know,
we got to figure that out, man. So we got a big show tonight. I am so excited about these
guys.
To that.
And
And you know what? It's really cool. One of the things that I love about our little show here that we've had for now over a year is the variety of entertainers and rockers that we have. So, you know, on one hand, you have a band came out of the 90s, rocking and rolling since then, and their music is really hard-edged, and just love Buckcherry. And then you have another guest, a female rock and roller who's been an icon for so many years, so many albums, and together we're all going to just jam and
we're having fun. I knew her in the 70s when I was over there playing with Jeff Beck and Rod Stewart, and she was like top of the pops and all over the place there.
Oh, I'm so excited. So I'll tell you what, let's bring Josh on first. Okay. He's the lead vocalist from the internationally superstar band Buckcherry, and it's really one of my favorite bands. Hi, Josh.
Hey, Josh.
What's happening?
How you doing,
Thanks
bro?
for having me.
Where are you, dude? Are you on a bus?
Yeah, I'm on the bus. I'm in Indiana right now. Got a show tonight. We just actually pulled up and loading in right now for
nice.
sound check and on the Hellbound Tour. It's been amazing.
Good. Well, how many shows have you done since the things have opened up?
So many. We started
June
1st. Yeah, we started June 1st. So
wow.
I don't know. I want to say like maybe 60 shows or something like that.
Where did you open up? I mean, because you know most of the states were closed in June still. You know.
Oh, we played all over the states.
Wow, good for you.
I mean, I can't recall every stitch, you know, every venue and everything. But
where was the first one? Do you remember the first one?
I don't. You know, we played a handful of shows in Florida at the beginning of the year too. So.
Okay. Those
are the first ones we did. Because that state was like wide open at the beginning, and
I live in Florida. It was open. I moved there a year ago in June, and it's been open ever since. Every Saturday we go out to a New York deli and have breakfast. You wear your mask in there, and they have these shower curtains hanging in between the booths, clear shower curtains.
Oh my God!
But they kept it open, you know.
Yeah.
So good. That's great. I did my first gig last weekend with my brother, we did a convention in Nashville. And that was the first one for me. Before that, it was February 2020. It was my last gig with Vinny. My last gig, period. And all year and up until then, it's just recording studio and doing Hangin' and Bangin'.
We did like 16 shows in 2022, we managed to get those off. They were like socially distanced outdoor events, but it's been weird, but now it's doing pretty good. And, the Delta variant is kicking up a little bit, but it seems to be settling down now.
What's that doing for your audiences? Are they wearing masks when they come in? What does it look like?
Some people are, and a lot of people aren't. I think a lot of people are vaccinated as well. So.
And you're getting the normal size audience.
Yeah.
That's great. You too, Ron, in your venues?
Yeah, we've been selling out, and people have been loving it, and everybody's a little walk on eggshells. We think we're doing the right thing. Who knows the real deal? Who knows the truth? Yeah, but I'll tell you what, when the music starts, we just had Scott Stapp of Creed last week that just killed, and everybody, I know Josh, Scott pretty well, so it was an incredible show.
Yeah, he's a great singer.
I can't wait to start playing again. God, we start in a month. Me and Vinny, we got 4 shows, and then we go start doing shows with Ron and Vanilla Fudge, and then we got shows more of Vanilla Fudge and Cactus, and then more Drum Wars. It's like great.
Josh, do you feel that you're playing to these big audiences now again? But do you feel that the audiences are like really, really, just more involved, more excited, more loving it?
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it feels that way, and then sometimes it feels just like a normal pre-COVID crowd, But I don't know. I just know that we have an added level of gratitude, for sure. We were always grateful to be doing what we were doing for a living, But now it's like it's been elevated, since all this. Really grateful to be out, just on stage doing our thing,
Amen to that.
Well, we really appreciate you being here. I know it's a little bit early for you, and we all know what it's like to load in and be just before a show, but you're doing this, so thank you.
Yeah,
really appreciate it.
Where are you now? Where are you?
I'm somewhere in Indiana. Let me look.
I know. Let me look out the blinds.
You know what? I don't even.
In the band. Who plays drums in the band?
Francis Ruiz, great drummer. Yeah.
Is he original member? Original member?
No. No, he's not
who's original? Are there like how many originals are in the band now?
Me. That's it.
Oh, it's just you, really? No kidding.
Yeah.
Josh, one of the things that we love to do here is we talk about some of our favorite band names or song names, and I got to tell you that Slamhound is one of my favorites.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that was my first real band in Los Angeles, and we had a good run. We were hell on wheels, that band. We were young, dumb, full of cum, fucked up.
When was that?
That was 1990 was when we.
I lived in LA at the time.
Yeah, we were. Just a crazy band. We did really well. We got really close to doing something, and then it just all imploded. And maybe it was a blessing in disguise because we were really fucked up on drugs and alcohol, and it would have been over before it started probably if we would have been given.
Yeah.
Ahmet Erdogan was actually looking at us and came to one of our shows, and then he at one point slipped and fell on some ice and broke his hip, and then that was it.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, he transitioned out of Atlantic, and we didn't get that opportunity, and then we got on an independent label, and we made a record, and then the independent label lost its financial backing, and that was the end of that story, and then it just kind of imploded.
We lost Ron again, but I have Ahmet Erdogan in my career. Vanilla Fudge, he signed Vanilla Fudge at the time, and
wow.
But he also ruined my career.
How's that?
Because the second album we had the first huge album, "You Keep Me Hanging On," and it was a huge album. It was number 4. It was on the charts 2 times. It was on the charts for like 3 years, and the second album was an idea. Our producer and Shadow Morton was the producer, and Ahmed had this idea to do a concept album, right? But it was more than a concept album. Usually a concept album has a storyline of songs. This was called The Beat Goes On. And all we did was play bam, 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 was The Beat Goes On. And then we do all this weird stuff like Voices in Time. You get Hitler and Sieg Heil and all this weird stuff. And we had one song on there. It was one song, right? And it was it was so weird that when people would, and those days people would play a whole album on the radio, and the audience would get high and take acid and stuff and listen to it, you know? and the radio station got all these calls about, take it off, it's bumming me out, I'm going on a bad acid trip, and blah, blah, blah. It was so fucked up. And it actually ruined our career because, you know, all the people that bought the first album, which was almost 1 million people back in 1967, which was a lot of people, they bought this album. You know, it came up on the charts. It started at number 15 and, you know, went up to number 10 and then it stopped. And they all went on bummers. Everybody hated this record because we had one song on there. We did Moonlight Sonata and Fleur Elise, the classical song done Vanilla Fudge style. And that's the only music we had on it. The rest of it was crap. And that was Ahmed's big contribution to us, you know? And it's unbelievable.
Yeah, you got to be, you got to be careful, you know, just because somebody has a name doesn't mean they always know what's the best for your band.
Exactly.
You know?
But, you know, probably like you were back then when you were drinking and drugging, and then he came to see you. Or was going to come to see you, you didn't know any better. We didn't know any better. We got just a big producer and Ahmed Erdogan telling us to do this, so we did this, you know? And like, it was the worst thing we could have done. We're still living it down today, 54 years later.
Yay!
Oh, look who's here.
Suzi.
I'm sorry, guys. I fell on the patio, got a shiner, bad shoulder. Thank God my bass strap goes over this shoulder, and a bad knee. But it's my vanity, so I'm sorry. Forgive me my sunglasses.
No problem. I can put mine on if you feel better. I usually wear my glasses, but for some reason I got these stupid glasses. I had eye surgery. I had
you're the same. Look at that.
I did cataract surgery. And
my husband had that.
And then I could see really good without the glasses distance, but I need the bottom part to read. So I always wear them because I didn't want to let me get my glasses.
Did you get those bionic lenses put in your eyes?
I don't know what I got put in my eyes.
Did they put in your eyes new lenses?
Yes, yes. And I see great, except for reading.
Come on, what about my theory? You know, 58 years not playing bass guitar. I say it on stage every night because I do like a 15, 20-minute bass and drum solo. And we are the engine. And we are the engine.
Yeah.
You guys, I'll be right back. I got to go to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back.
You got it. Okay.
So, I mean, it's strange. I did an album with Andy Scott from The Sweet and Don Powell from Slade recently, about 2 or 3 years ago. And for some reason, Don Powell and I we locked in. You know how it happens sometimes. You lock into the bass and the drums. It's like we've been playing together forever. Right. Forever. Yeah. And I love it when that happens.
Yeah. So we keep losing Ron. I don't know why. But so I guess it's me and you. So back in the day when I was with Jeff Beck and Rod Stewart, it was like 1972, 73, 74, 75, 76. I was in England a lot.
Yeah.
I used to see
you. Would see me, all the time.
On Top of the Pops.
Sure.
And headlining festivals and all that. And then I met your brother. You guys are originally from Detroit, aren't you?
Yes. Yeah, born and raised.
Was your brother living in Detroit in those, like a little after those days, like in the 70s?
He's a pianist, very, very fine pianist. He did his own thing. I left in 71, and in fact, you mentioned Jeff.
Yeah.
I was in an all-girl band, and Mickey Mouse came to Detroit.
Yep. I
To
know
record
Mickey.
Jeff and Cozy at Motown. Saw the band I was in. Didn't like the band at all.
Wow.
Offered me a solo contract. So Jeff was there, and he said to Mickey, Jeff, we're quite close now. He said to Mickey while he was watching the band, it's the bass player. Mickey said, don't tell me what I know. So I came to London, and I started having success in 73.
Right.
But
That's kind of what happened with Hendrix, too.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one.
Yeah, I used to play gigs with Hendrix in New York, and then we go to play in a really bad area, and we go up to this black prostitute's apartment and smoke some pot, and Jimmy would say, oh, I'm going to make it one day. And I just wanted to make a living. I didn't really care about making it. I didn't know nothing about making it. So I made let's make a living. And then he said, I'm going to make it one day. And then like 3 years later, I'm in the Speakeasy in London. You know the Speakeasy, right?
Sure.
And I see him, and I tell him, about that day. And he kind of remembered it. He goes, what are you doing here? And I said, I'm with Vanilla Fudge. He goes, man, I love the Fudge. And then we became friends again, hit it off again. But
good band.
Same thing with you. So you went to England to make it.
Yeah, but I didn't go to make it. It happened that way.
Yeah, well, that's what happened.
Yeah, but it's funny. It's a different story. Within 1 week, you have to know when the opportunity's knocking on the door. You just have to know it.
That's right.
And Elektra Records had come to see the band, and they didn't want the band. They wanted me, and it was the same exact week that Mickey came, saw the band, and only wanted me. So Elektra said, "Oh, we're taking you to New York and making you the next Janis Joplin." Mickey Mouse said, "We'll take you to England, make you the first Suzi Quatro."
Right.
That's why I went there. So he saw.
What was the name of that band?
The first band was called the Pleasure Seekers, and then it became Cradle. And it changed shape in Cradle. It became very heavy and which I don't know, but all the fun was gone for me. So I was waiting for my moment. My moment came, and I went. I could have stayed in New York, but I didn't like that he saw me as the second somebody else.
Yeah,
so
that's great.
End of story. Here I am, 58 years later.
Yeah, are you still doing it? And have you started playing gigs now, lately, after the COVID?
We did one. I mean, I'll make this so it's not the Suzi Quatro show. The Under 219, my documentary came out. Great worldwide. Sat on the top of the Amazon charts. Suzi Q. You must see it.
Great.
Big hit for me. Then we built up into 220. I had 100 shows booked, sold out. Solo shows, 2-hour shows. The first album, my son came out, No Control. Lockdown. So my son was on the road with his own band. My gigs were canceled. His gigs were canceled. I said, okay, Richard, we made a successful album together. They've taken up the option. Let's take out the silver lining of this cloud and write the album. So we went in our studio, I on the patio, because I'm old school, him with the buttons, and we made the best album of my career. So I don't know if you're the same, but as an artist, I would say that this has been an extremely creative time. And I've taken advantage of it. I've never been so turned on in my life. I've written and released 2 books and an album.
That's good. That's good.
Oh, wow, that's incredible.
Well, unlike Josh just said he did 60 shows
since
already.
June.
Since June.
I don't know how.
Wow. In America.
Yeah, that's it.
America.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know England was locked down worse. England was locked down.
Really, really bad. I mean, my husband lives in Hamburg, and I live in the UK, and we've run 2 homes successfully for 27 years. Which was fine until lockdown.
Yeah.
Right.
And we have been months without seeing. Thank God for Skype, you know. It's Skype and tears. There you go. There's a song. Skype and tears. Make it heavy for me.
But Suzi, why did you? I'm sorry.
Where did you get? Hold on, Ron. Is your husband back in England yet?
No.
No.
He lives in Hamburg.
Oh, he lives there.
Yes, I live here. So.
Wow.
You know, and you can't just. Okay. I go there for 2 weeks. He comes here for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I did that with my wife too. Yeah. I lived in LA. Okay. She lived in New York. Okay. All right, go ahead, Ron. Go ahead, Ron.
You guys, I want to say something. They're turning off the bus Wi-Fi here soon because we have to go to shore power. So my internet may get wonky here.
All right.
So
Ron?
If that happens, I apologize.
No problem. We're all having a little craziness and wonkiness. I'm actually in Las Vegas right now. And, you know, I'm at the Aria Hotel, and I picked out the room for one reason, because this picture reminded me of Suzi. This one here.
Oh my, I look like I went 3 rounds with Mike Tyson. Honest to God.
You know, that's the rock look, though. I think you lose the glasses.
That's a rock look.
That's a badass rock chick.
You see the other
guy. Now, you talked about all this, being locked down and all this creativity, but, you know, ironically, you're just kind of sitting there. Where are you getting all this inspiration? I know a lot of it comes from the past, because you love James Brown, you love that old Juicy Soul stuff. Is that where you're getting your inspiration?
I'm getting I'm an artiste, I have to say, because as you know, I've done everything from West End to radio for 15 years, but always on the road. But I am just feeling what's going on in this world right now. What happened to our freedom? What happened to our joy? What happened to our choices? What happened to our compassion? What happened to everything's like, I don't know about you guys, but I have been up and down and sideways within 5 minutes for the past 5 years. I've hit the wall. I've hit the ceiling. So for me, I'm pulling out those words, those songs. You know, that's why my current album, The Devil in Me, that's why it did so great, because all those emotions. Yeah. And a lot of them are very heavy rock, but they all are saying something. So.
Oh, Ron keeps going away.
I don't know.
Yeah, this is.
Well, we're here.
I gotta say, Suzi, this is the.
It's the bass and the drums. We're still here.
We're still here. It's the bass and drums. Let's go. It's funny because we've done. This is probably the 60th show, right? And this has never happened before, where everybody's focusing in and out. I know we tried to get you before, and you know, with the time change, it was rough.
Yeah.
Because we're all old now. We don't go to bed late no more.
I never. Do you know what? I don't know about you. Know. Be honest. Yeah. Be honest with me. I'm a singer, obviously singer, bass player, but singer, and that's my instrument. So I learned a long time ago. In fact, playing the New York clubs at the age of 15, 5 shows a night. You know that.
Yeah.
5 sets, 45 on, 15 off. Yeah. Or you learn how to use your voice.
Yeah. My voice has been screwed because I got this reflux thing, you know, and it's screwed up my voice. I went to a doctor, I took pills. And about 3 weeks ago, I met with Rod Stewart. He was at Palm Beach where we lived.
He had some problems.
Yeah, we were exchanging with medicine we're on for the reflux, you know, and he gave me his medicine. I asked my doctor about his medicine, and he said, well, it's pretty much the same thing. He said, all these medicines for that, you can't keep on for a long time because it could screw you up, you know, so. But it's getting better, though. It's getting better, though. You know,
you got to be careful what you take. Back in the old days, I'm going to throw it at you. Maybe you know it. Clorexol or something that used to spray down the back of your throat.
Oh yes, I know that one.
Only what it did was
it would deaden everything.
Yeah, so you're screwing your throat up, and you didn't know.
You didn't know it. You didn't feel it.
When I did musical theater for the first time in 1986, I was Annie and Annie Get Your Gun. I mean, take a smaller role, you know.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Anyway, you're out there, and you haven't got those few rock and roll songs to warm up. You are exposed.
Yeah.
So your voice has got to be on from the second you hit the stage. And I learned a warm up during that theater part. And I do it even at festivals, even big shows. I will be out there with my headphones doing my vocal warm-up because they told me that there's nothing you can't sing through except laryngitis.
Wow.
And I've done it. I've woken up.
Well, that's funny because that's exactly what my doctor told me. And you know Peter Noon? Do you know Peter Noon?
Sure, very well. Mickey Mouse. Are you kidding?
Yeah. Peter Noon just played New York a few weeks ago. We were here. You know, we live in Florida basically, and then we come up to a place in New York to do things. So we're here like this week, a few days. So I went to see Peter and we hung out, and I told him about my problem. He said, I got the best vocal app to warm up your voice. He sent it to me. He sent it to me, and fortunately, I haven't done it, you know, or unfortunately, I haven't done it yet because I haven't been out there playing yet, you know.
Yeah.
So another couple of weeks, I'm going to start getting into it. But my voice has gotten better since I took this medicine. Now I'm gotten off the medicine. But the doctor told me to take probiotics as well.
Yes, you got to do it. You know, even though I haven't been working, I will do a full rehearsal. Believe it or not, it's embarrassing. I roll up the carpet, take my socks off so I'm barefoot, and I will put a little microphone here, put my bass on, put the live show on, and I will do the show. Stopping, screaming, walking back and forth, full throttle. And then I see when there's any problems where maybe the breathing didn't come through. Sometimes you get to breathe and you strain your note. And when you strain one note, then you screw up your voice. So that's we got back onto the party thing. I never used to party because I had to make sure I got my sleep for my voice, which is my instrument.
Yeah, that's right. I remember Rod used to do it all the time. He'd say, I got to sleep a certain amount of time in order to keep my voice. And
well, you know what? I mean, I'm terrible to say it, but it's the honest truth. When I'm on the tour, we're doing like usually 4 or 5 in a row, and then 2 days off. That's the best. That's the best for the throat. I will need to sleep minimum 9 to 10 hours, so my voice is good. And I shut up in the daytime. Don't talk. Don't go full throttle for sound check. Do my vocal warm up, and then I take no prisoners.
Wow, that's great that you can not talk during the day. I find it hard.
Well, I know. I am a talker too. I am a talker. What sign are you, Carmine?
Sagittarius.
I knew it.
How'd you know it?
Damn, I wish I would have said it. I should have said it out loud. I knew you were Sagittarius.
Really? No kidding. How'd you know?
I was married to one of you for 20 years. I know the attributes.
Okay.
You're very Sagittarius. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, God,
You're kind of a no-nonsense. Your humor is off the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're very amiable, and you don't like to go down into those dark areas of conversation. And then when somebody forces you to go down those dark areas of conversation, you're so depressing, that person was sorry they ever took you there.
Comment a piece here for Hangin' and Bangin'. September 2nd, we have Wendy Dio, married to Ronnie, managed Ronnie, talking about the new book, the autobiography, and Paul Shortino, who's managed by Ronnie and Wendy back in the day. And he also sang with Quiet Riot. He sings with me now with King Cobra. A great singer and a good guy. So they're going to be on September 2nd, Hangin' and Bangin', 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central, and 4 o'clock over there where Vinny is in California. So that's on Hangin' and Bangin', Artists on Lockdown on Facebook, and Comment a Piece Official on Facebook. So be there. It's going to be a really fun show. You know, I knew Ronnie from back in the day, and Vinny played with Ronnie, so how much better are you going to get for that, right? Okay, see you then. Ciao.
He'll be back.
What are you drinking there? What's in your glass?
Champagne and ice.
Nice. I have a cup of hot water with an avocado leaf in it. You see that?
Nice. Yeah, I see it. And you know what's good?
And that's good for your good cholesterol.
You should try a little bit of hot water and ginger. Really good for the vocal cords.
Oh, really? Okay.
Little sliver of ginger and hot water. Really good. And port is also good at the end of the night. I never drink when I work. I mean, not a
I don't drink much either.
How can you? Yeah, but how can you do that? I'm sorry. I know I'm insulting a lot of professional people, but
I had a group with John Sykes and Tony Franklin called Blue Murder.
Right.
In 1989, we recorded with Bob Rock up in Little Mountain Studios. Right. And up there is this famous place for all these strip bars. So I remember there was one song called Jelly Roll. Hi, there's Ron again. One song called Jelly Roll. And I never drink when I play or smoke pot or anything, you know. I used to in the old days, but not in the last 20 years. So, you know, we're out partying. We're at the strip bars after the solo. We'd come back with all these strippers to the studio, and we're drinking, having a good time. I got a buzz going. I'm pretty fucked up drunk. So John Sykes and Tony Franklin go, hey, man, why don't you go out and play Jelly Roll, the song Jelly Roll. We need drums on it. I go, I don't want to do that. Anyway, long story short, they persuade me to do it. I go out, and I play the song. And it was a pretty cool song. It had a tempo like this, you know, and then it cut time, and I did this 4-bar drum break, which brings us into the other tempo.
Sure.
And I went and did it, and I didn't have a clue if it sucked or if it was great. The next day we come in the studio, and we sit down, and they go, let's listen to what we did last night. And I go, no, I don't want to listen to it. And we listened to it, and it was great, and we used it.
I don't know how you did it.
It's the first time I ever did that in my life, and the last.
It's brilliant.
Right? Never drank. You know.
That's really great. I did one time. I was at a festival, and all the power went off, as you know it happens, and all that you could hear was the drums. Okay. So because I had studied classical piano and percussion, I read, write, and play both. I'm self-taught bass, and I went up to the drummer, and we both played drums for 20 minutes until the power came back. Until the power came back, and they thought it was part of the show. The audience went,
I tell you a funny story with it. We did an outdoor show with Cactus one time, and it was on the bed of a truck, a flat bed truck. So the band was on that, and I was on a dump truck. The drum riser was on a dump truck. So don't you know, I'm doing my drum solo, and the Cactus was a very playful band. So they went around, and they pushed the button, and it started dumping, right? And I'm doing my solo, and all of a sudden the drums start sliding away, you know, and then when they realized the drums were sliding away, they stopped. So I was on a bit of an angle. Man, did I get pissed off. The audience loved it. They freaking loved it. Unbelievable. You know, I'm amazed at also that you lived in England so long, but you don't have any hint of a British accent. You know that?
Say again?
You don't have any hint of a British accent, and you lived there so long.
Yeah, you don't.
You don't. When I was playing with Rod and playing with Jeff, there was a period of like 5 or 6 years I was in England a lot. I started picking up the accent, you know, just to be easier to talk to people.
I don't. I tell you what gave me the clue. I was doing, it was about the third or fourth Happy Days that I did, because I was in 3 seasons.
Right.
And I was in love with the director and just loved him. And he came to me during a rehearsal. And I was actually on the set with Ronnie. And he said to me, excuse me, Susie. I said, what? He said, can you come back to Detroit? I said, what are you talking about? He said, you sound British. I said, I do not. From that moment on, I made sure.
Oh, wow.
I wasn't. Nobody's ever mistaken me for English, but I don't want to sound any different from what I do.
Yeah.
I am from Detroit, proud to be.
I got to know Henry Winkler for a while.
He's lovely.
Lovely guy. In 1982, I was doing my first solo album in Richie Posler's studio in Studio City, and his son was just starting to play drums, and he bought my drum instruction book.
Right.
You know, and somehow, I don't know how, even though I think probably through the Rod Stewart connection, because I was playing with Rod at the time, I told him I was recording there. And so he came down with his son. He brought pizza, you know, and I've been over to his house. I helped his son, gave him a few lessons. We went out to dinner, and we became, you know, pretty good friends for maybe 3, 4, 5 years in like the early 80s. What a nice guy. And I used to love his image, the Fonz, man.
I've maintained my friendship. Ronnie and I email all the time, and I'm afraid we get political. God forbid I should ask him a political question. It goes on and on and on. And Henry has just been such a support.
Yeah.
My documentary, Suzi Q, that he was in, out of all the people that spoke, and there were so many, his comment was the one that made me cry.
Henry?
Yeah.
What did he say? What did he say?
Right at the end of the film, he says, Suzi Quatro had a dream in Detroit. Oh, I'm going to cry again. All those years ago, and she's still living that dream, and that's amazing.
Wow.
Oh, see that? I'm teary up.
Yeah, that is great. I mean, when you think about the fact that I know me, I don't know how old you are, but you're probably along my age bracket.
I'm 71. And
okay, I'm 74. I'll be 75.
Proud to be.
And I haven't had a day job since 1964.
I never had one.
Right, good for you. I had 2 weeks of a day job after high school, and then I would always playing gigs during my teenage years. And you being from Detroit, I went out and bought myself when I was 17 a 1964 Chevy Super Sport 327 4-speed, you know, and I paid for it myself. And some friends of mine that had parents that had money had Corvettes, but I used to say, yeah, but I bought mine. You know,
you bought that,
and I was proud of it, and the money came from playing.
And you should be proud.
And then after high school, I had two gigs. One gig paid $45 a week, and I would work on the weekend to make $150. And I said to my parents finally, I said, my father's person, hey, say, Pop, look, what should I do here? I could make $150, $200 on the weekend, or bust my ass all week and make $45.
Exactly.
I put my hands like that. What should I do? He said, well, the weekend sounds good. I said, good. So I quit my job.
Good for you.
And then I haven't had one since. And I had my dream of making, like I said, just making a living.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's exactly how it should happen.
And I went way beyond my dream, so I'm happy.
Yeah, sure, so am I.
You know?
I mean, my father was a musician, so I didn't have to argue with him about being in a band. And in fact, and this will make you go green with envy. My first bass, I started the band, I was 14. Everybody took an instrument. I was told I was going to play the bass. Okay, no problem. So I was already percussive-minded, being a drummer and a pianist.
Right.
So I went to my father at 14. I said, Dad, we're starting a band. He said, good. I said, I'm going to play bass. Do you have a bass? And we had everything in the house, everything.
Oh,
everything
awesome.
you can name. Ukulele, banjo, mandolin, two full-size piano. Anyway,
wow.
He said, sure, here you go. So my first bass that I was given by my father, 1957, Fender Precision, gold scratch plate, stripe on the back and the neck, sunburst finish. I did not know that this was a big bass. I didn't know anything about bass. All I know was this is what I got given. So I became this really good bass player on this really hard to play big bass that I didn't know was a big bass.
Right.
Fantastic. I still have it, by the way.
I have a 1961 white Precision.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I've had that since 1976, maybe. You know, I paid $1,000 for it back then, and I play a little bass. You know, I play enough bass and guitar and keyboard to write songs. You know,
all musicians that have been in the game for a long time, they are. I mean, I'm a very good classical piano player, by the way, and I'm quite a good percussionist. But you do end up learning a little bit of everything.
Yeah,
you just do.
What is that next to you? Is that glasses next to you?
Is that what?
Don't even
go there. Okay, you're going to go there. I have in my office, all the way around my office, 750 pairs of Ray-Bans, starting from
my God,
1940s up to the present day.
You see what it looks like? You know, this looks like it could be a spiral notebook, and it looks like from here, from me looking at, it looks like. Look
it's
at
everything. Look at
right. Oh my God.
That's nothing. And then if you can see that way. There's some. I got so many going. Anyway, my husband did the thing for me. He wanted me to.
Yeah, I got my studio in Florida. Has most of my gold records. I have a few few here. See those?
Yeah, I've got a few in my dining room.
Yeah, so this is our office in New York, and we moved everything from. I used to live in LA 40 years. I moved to Florida. I got a studio there and everything, and I put everything in the studio. It's like just walls of.
Yeah, I've got a studio here now. I want to tell you your twin story of your father, because this is my twin story.
Okay.
I was in New York with our father's blessing. There was 3 of his daughters in the band, managed by my elder sister's first husband out of 7. Don't go there. And
whoa, 7?
7.
You beat me. I'm 5.
Not me, my sister.
My wife here. Yeah, she's calling my wife. 18 years. People say to her, "You guys gonna get married?" She goes, "Get married. He'll marry anybody." That's you. Oh my God.
I've only been married twice. This is my elder sister.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Not me. I'm a real square.
That's me.
I'm square. I'm square. I'm a stayer. I'm a stayer.
Good for you.
I called my dad from Trudy Heller's. We were playing Trudy Heller's.
Trudy Heller's, yeah.
Okay. I was 15, and I was in the little hotel room, woke up in the morning, and I was due to go back to finish schooling. And I had the same kind of moment. I called my dad on the phone. My mother picked up the extension. I said, "Dad?" He said, "Yes." I said, "I think I found what I've wanted to do for the rest of my life. I don't want to come back and finish school." There was a big silence. And he said, "Is there," and he said it quietly, "Is there anything I can say to change your mind?" I said, "No." And he quietly put the phone on the hook.
Wow.
Now, no, clever, because I went, you're like, fine, you're like, yeah. So I said,
You're young.
Yeah, good, yeah. And it really made me stop and think about what I was saying. I sat there maybe 15 minutes, maybe, really, and I went, yep, where's my bass? I'm on.
Wow.
And I have a look.
And you were playing with your brothers then?
No, playing with my sisters.
Your sisters, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we had an all-girl band, yeah. So, wow. And still, I don't know if you're the same as me. Tell me if you are. But see, I'm the lead. I'm the fun person, too. So that's a different responsibility. You're up there doing singing and playing and blah, blah, blah. But before every show, I never, ever have gone out, even if it's my solo show and everybody's paid only to see me. I've never gone out with the attitude of, oh, yeah, they're going to love me. What I've always gone out with is, God, I hope they like me tonight.
Yeah.
Is that the safe attitude?
Yeah, without a doubt.
It is.
So it's not me. It's about the whole thing.
Well, each show is like a new war, really. I mean,
yeah, of course.
Just because you were good last night, different people.
Different people,
It's all
different. It's all different.
Sure. And some nights they want more of the smart-ass Detroit. Sometimes they want the young rockers. They want you have to go into that and know and realize it and pull it out of your psyche. It's your job. That's just to say what my dad said, because I know you can relate.
Yeah. Do you have any plans coming to the States to play?
I'd love to. Every time I try to, something happens. I did Canada 2.5 years ago. I've done various award shows in Detroit. I got Michigan Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I went to Texas, won a Valor Award. Went to LA, got the She-Box Account Award, and I've done songs at each one. But every time I try to get there, something goes wrong with it. But I need to come back. I haven't been back really for a long time. I'd like to.
Yeah, you should probably play Ron's theaters. He's got great theaters. They're really great theaters. Ron's such a good guy. We're playing there with Vanilla Fudge and Robbie Krieger on September 30th and October 1st.
Fantastic.
And we haven't played Fudge in a long time, so I'm finishing a gig in Buffalo on the 27th. So I was leaving on the 27th to go back to Florida. I go, I got to rehearse with the Fudge. So I called Ron. I said, dude, can we rehearse in one of the theaters for a couple of days before we play the theater? He said, yeah, no problem. He said, I'll even cook for you, because Ron, when you play Ron's theaters, he cooks the greatest Italian stuff.
Yeah.
He cooks these amazing meatballs, and like when my brother's on the show, we always talk about his cooking, and everybody that comes on the show normally plays his venues, and so we did all that, and so he's such a good guy. So he said, "Yeah, man, no problem. You can come in. So I'll even cook for you." I said, "Great." So we're looking forward to that, and that starts on September 19th. Me and my brother do 4 shows that week. I end up in Buffalo, and then in Niagara Falls. The next day in Buffalo, I'm doing a book signing. So I have my autobiography out and drum books, and I did a project called Guitar Zeus, Carmine Appice Guitar Zeus, where I got every big guitar player except like Jeff, Jimmy, and Eric. I got Brian May, Richie, Richie Sambora, Yngwie Malmsteen, everybody. And Tony Franklin plays fretless bass, and it's my 25th anniversary coming up this year. So we're releasing a box set. So I'm gonna, be promoting that and the albums. So that's the 26th, and then the 27th I gotta leave to go either home or go rehearse. So I said, let's go to Chicago. So we're gonna spend 4 days in Chicago area.
Nice. Done all those places. Played all those places loads of times.
Yeah.
This was my box set released in 2014 to celebrate 50 years in the industry. Called The Girl. It's The Girl from Detroit City. It's me.
That's what I remember. I remember that picture of you. Great. Awesome. Let me see that picture again.
That's the iconic picture.
It is the iconic picture.
There is a story behind that.
Yeah.
I had made the first record.
What year was that picture?
That was 1973. I'd made the record Can to Can, which was my first #1 million seller around the world. Made the record. Had the big meeting with Mickey Mouse to decide image, and I said, me being Elvis fanatic, I said leather, and he said no, and I got my way. So he said, okay, you can wear leather, and then he said, how about a jumpsuit? And I said, great, sensible. I can jump around, and everything stays in one place. Had no idea it was sexy. Honest to God.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm standing there at the photographer. The record's playing in the background. I've got my jumpsuit on. And he said, Garrett Mankiewicz, one of the top photographers in the business. All he said to me was, okay, give me that Suzi Quatro logo. And I didn't know I had one, but that's what I did.
Yeah.
I always remember it. I knew what he meant. Well, I didn't go, what do you mean?
Well, so now you take that look, right? And you look at like when Joan Jett came out. And what did you think?
She was my biggest fan.
Yeah.
She has Suzi Quatro wallpaper in her bedroom. She came to all my shows. I love her dearly. She was on my documentary. Said some very, very sweet things. And after the documentary did really well, she sent me a gold record. So very nice. I thought to myself, when the publicity guy said, because this is after Happy Days and everything, where they've seen me as Leather Tescadero doing what I do.
Yeah.
And my guy said to me, oh, she's formed a band. Remember the girl that used to wait in the lobby? And I said, fantastic.
Wow.
I said, because anybody that has that much love for what I'm doing needs to do it herself. And she did.
Awesome.
And I'm very proud of her,
That's
so
awesome.
sweet girl. And she couldn't have been nicer in the doc. And she owns all that, I mean, of course
I got to tell you a funny Mickey Mouse story. Mickey Mouse hired me and Tim Bogert to come to England to play on something. I can't remember what it was. And he put us up in this really, I think the Mayflower Hotel. It was a really rich hotel in London.
Mickey told me this story. Go on.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
He told you the story?
He did.
And then Pete Buckland, who was with the Faces, came to visit us, and he destroyed the room.
That's right.
He destroyed the room, and me and Tim were like, "Oh man, they're going to be really pissed at us." And that, we were scheduled to leave, that morning when we realized, the night before that he destroyed the room. There's really nothing we can do about it because we had cars picking us up to leave and everything, so we just left.
He told me about that.
And then Mickey called our manager, and man, he raised hell, and He
was very angry. He told me that.
He was pissed off at us. He thought we did it. We didn't do anything. It was Pete Buckland did it.
But he's not with us anymore, so I can't tell him anything.
Yeah, I know. He was a great producer. He was, man. The first two Beck albums were awesome.
Oh yeah, they're great. But you know what? He could never get me on record.
Yeah.
He was smart enough to find me, but he couldn't record me. I made all my stuff with Mike Chapman.
Oh, you did Mike Chapman. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, sure. Mickey just couldn't capture me on record.
Oh, no kidding.
He couldn't get my edge. I don't know. He called his wife, which
did he manage you then?
Well, he was my record company and my publisher, and we were like, he's like my daddy figure, you know.
Yeah.
But I can tell you real quick in the story. He called his wife after seeing me in the band that night in Detroit, and she told me this a couple years later after I got to England. She said, he called me up and he said, Chris, I found it. At last, I found it. She said, what? He said, I don't know, but I found it. Does that explain it?
Yeah,
so he didn't know. He knew what I wasn't. He didn't know what I was.
Yeah.
He couldn't get my edge on the record. Mike Chapman managed to do that fantastic.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
And didn't Mike Chapman do, did he do somebody else, another female band or something? Who did he do?
Oh my God, Mike Chapman.
Did he do Guns N' Roses?
He did Blondie.
Blondie, that's what I'm thinking, Blondie.
Lita Ford from the Runaways.
Lita's a good friend of mine.
Yeah, sure. And Lita was on my documentary too.
Yeah, Lita's a good lady.
Oh, so sweet.
Yeah, good lady.
Yeah,
I had lunch with Lita a few years ago before my buddy Tim Bogert passed away. And Tim Bogert, you know, he's got the gray hair, you know, almost going bald. He got the sunglasses and, you know, white skin, real straight lace. And it's me, who at the time I had black and purple hair, you know, and then Lita, who's just full of tattoos.
I know. Yeah.
And we went out to an IHOP for a lunch, and it was such a weird outing of people, the three of us, you know, that people were just looking at us like who the hell are these people?
She's a good lady. You know? She's a good lady.
But I love Lita. She lives in Arizona now by herself with her two dogs.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I love Lita. We had Lita on the show, but she wouldn't have her video on. We had to just have a picture of her.
Well, I'm having my glasses on because.
Well, God bless you, man. You're a trooper. You're a trooper. I took a fall twice in the last couple of weeks on my hip, you know, and it really hurts when you get our age, you know. That's shit.
Well, that's why I keep doing my show in the front room.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, you love this one. We were doing some 3 or 4 videos for the current album, Back to the Drive, and we were doing it in my garage, which was allowed, but everybody had to go in separately, and they filmed you and they pieced it all together.
Right.
And I kept asking the director, "Are you going to want?" Because it was a strange song. He said it was more of an acting song. I sold my soul today, and I said, "Are you going to want me playing the bass on this? Is it just going to be me acting?" And he kept saying, "No, just you singing." Okay. 11 o'clock at night, ping, on my billboard, on my computer.
Yeah.
He said, "I do want you playing bass." I said, "Oh, for Christ's sake." I'm in my pink pajamas and my white bathrobe. And I went into the front room and practiced with my bass on that song. If anybody could have looked in the window and seen it, it would have said, "Suzi Quatro was there. She's lost it." God.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go and get changed to practice this song, but how stupid did I look? You know, doing that and going for it with another bitch.
Yeah. Somebody's looking in your front window.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't have my front window curtains closed, so anybody.
But you live in that place, you probably got acreage.
Yeah.
Nobody's in your front window.
No, just the ghosts.
Yeah, that's great. Well, listen, I think we're about to have a time limits up, but usually Ron says goodbye, but I'd like to say thank you. It's good to see you.
And thank you.
And maybe you can get my email. I'll do the same from Ben, and we can keep
We'll do it
in touch.
again.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to hand it over to Ron he's going to say goodbye to everybody. So, Susie, thanks. It was awesome seeing you.
And
Josh, thank you for as well. He's gone already. It's just me and you, the troopers. The
It's
rhythm
been
section.
We have a lot in common. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
See you, Seth. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.